Hi there. In this week's video we have wind
And we have waves.
and fires.
Yep, it's been pretty warm in Greece and pretty windy, and we've had some big waves. So enjoy the video, and we'll
See you later.
see you at the end. So we just settled down on Zante at the first anchorage, which is sort of behind me there, and out of nowhere came 25-30 knot constant wind, gusts some more. David was just getting his anchor down. I'd got mine down 7 metres of water. A lot of other boats here, all hunkered down. Out to sea we can see lots of white horses and some waves breaking over the headland there. "7:30 in the morning, we're up and at. We took Oscar out this morning, didn't we?
Yeah, good morning.
Had a walk, a two poos le trek, and hoisted the dinghy up, put the engine on. We got, what have we got? 1.5 knots of wind.
On the nose.
On the nose. Next boat's going to be called On the Nose. Generators, wind generators on the top of the hill and over there are actually turning. Obviously a lot more wind higher up. We've got nothing. It's absolutely flat calm. There is a ferry just going past the headland. David's in Eternite over there. Solar panels are packed up. Got the inverter on, charging up everything that's 220 volts. Another ferry over there. Hatches open because it's warm downstairs. Front hatch is closed, so if we put the jib out we don't tangle a line. And the wasps are back. We're about 2 miles off land and they're still following us. But hey ho, all God's creatures, I guess. It looks like there's a bit of wind on the surface in front of us there. You see that? Slightly longer passage today, 30 miles. We'll do the big reveal of where we're going in just a few moments.
You can't remember the name.
Yeah, more to the point, I can't remember the name. I'm the captain, I'm not supposed to remember names. Remember what Barry said? It's a test for your crew. We continue to travel south along the east side of mainland Greece. We're having to go past the Peloponnese, the southern tip of mainland Greece, because the Corinth Canal has been closed. It was closed at the end of last year due to landslides, and this means some additional miles that we're having to travel by sea. Now, while it isn't a lot further in sea miles to go down and round, the Peloponnese are known for their strong northwesterly and northeasterly winds that can come up at a moment's notice. Now that's a big cat, 70 foot? Must be 70 foot, something like that. Big enough to have stern anchors as well as big bow anchor. See the stern anchors at the back? That's big. Flying a Portuguese flag and a Russian courtesy flag. So we just settled down on Zante at the first anchorage, which is sort of behind me there, and out of nowhere came 25-30 knot constant wind, gusts some more. David was just getting his anchor down. I'd got mine down 7 metres of water, 40 foot of chain out because there was nobody around, and boy did it suddenly blow from nowhere. The winds in this part of Greece can develop very quickly. Generally they come from the north, but often exceed 40 knots in the afternoons and die away in the evenings. It's calming down around this headland now. You can see behind me, look at all those white caps. Unbelievably quick, within 3 minutes that came up. And then of course we had to try and pick the anchor up, motor over it. Poor old Oscar doesn't like the engine revving at the best of times, but had to drive fairly hard into it to get the chain up. We've just gone round the corner and we're going to have a look to see what it's like here. It does look flatter. If not, we're going to go down to the main town, I think. Oof, excitement! Another relatively early start. We were actually where that cave is, there, just in the corner of that bay. No protection from the north, so we were rocking and rolling till about 1:30 this morning. Couldn't get our stern anchor out to bring the boat round, mainly because there just wasn't enough room. We needed 35-40 metres of chain out. It was good holding, but with 30 knot gusts in the late afternoon, we needed to have that much chain out just to be secure. So got up early this morning, took Oscar for a walk. The sea is pretty smooth. There's David over there on Eternite. We had two of these kind of local touristy ferry boat type things come through yesterday afternoon. One of them was so close I could have handed him a copy of the collision regs, quite literally. And he literally, from we were in there, he was a boat length away from us, 4 foot of wash, three waves, and he went into here, into this beach. So he slowed down about there. Just absolutely no forethought consideration or anything, and that seems to be an ongoing theme here. The commercial guys just do what they want to do, as long as they're all right. So we're off back to the mainland now. We were going to Zante, and I'll tell you why we weren't. We're not now going to Zante. We were going to Zante, but we've read so much about people being ripped off, with imitation port police taking your lines and then insisting on a €10 fee, people being overcharged for diesel, etc, etc, etc. Port police don't do anything, customs don't do anything, sorry, Coast Guard don't do anything. You know what, we're going to vote with our hook. Got a bit of a blow coming through. Today is Thursday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday, today's Wednesday. We've got a bit of a blow coming through on Friday afternoon, evening, up to 35 knots on predict wind and windy. So that's from the north, generally from the north, a bit of easting and a bit of westing in it as it comes through. There is no good anchorage here with protection from the north. We're going to anchor this evening. We've got about 6 hours to go, about 35 nautical miles, so about 5 to 6 hours. There's no wind, so we'll be motoring. Get there, at least we've got a cool breeze on now. So we headed here, Katakolo. Now obviously we didn't cross the peninsula, it's just the way that our tracking device works. It records our position every 10 minutes or so, which conveniently segues into a blatant Patreon promotion. Patreons get to follow us in real time. Every 10 minutes or so, our position is updated on our Garmin InReach satellite system. This is just one of the exclusive benefits that our Patreons get, and they get it for less than the cost of one decent beer every month. They also get to watch our videos at least a week early, virtually in real time. There's lots of behind the scenes videos and of course those exclusive Patreon only live chats. So if you're thinking of becoming a patron, pop over to the link below or the one in the description. It really helps us out making these videos. Anyway, back to the story. This is what we found in Katakolo. So we're in
Ghost town.
I'll put it down there. It may look like it's a bit foggy or hazy. And the reason for that is the forest fires a few miles away and near Olympia. It's all blowing all the smoke this way, so look this way. You see it's really foggy.
Barking dog.
Barking dog. Camera goes on, dog starts barking. Just wait for a weed whacker now. The cruise ships normally come in here, but of course because of you know what, no cruise ships. So the town is
like a ghost town.
Ghost town.
We are early and nothing's open yet.
What, not at 7, what is it? 9:30. A few little shops open. And generally the place is closed up. So yeah, see if we can get a coffee and a croissant. Basically deserted. The fires up at Olympus have stopped. The cruise ships coming in and people going up by coach to look at the ancient site of the Olympics where it all started. Smoke out to sea, looks like it's fog, and we've got a big blow coming through tomorrow, sorry, Friday evening. Today's Thursday. Yeah. So what we've decided to do is do a 48-mile dash further down the coast
with no wind.
With no wind.
No motoring.
Get into the next port and then a 10-mile dash the next day. Hopefully that will help us out with the wind. Not help us out, but we'll be in a good harbour. This one's a bit open to the south and to the east.
Yes.
37 degrees in the cabin, poor old Oscar. We've got two 12-volt fans and one 240-volt fan. Sorry, 220-volt fan working off the inverter to try and cool him down, and we've sprayed him down with a shower, cold shower, and then rubbed him down, which cools him down a little bit. There's a castle, I'll show you, on top of the hill there, and there's a little gap, and if we had a lifting keel we'd get through. It's actually about 1 metre, 0.5 of a metre deep there, and although it's sandy, we draw 1.9, so we're not going to make that, and as a consequence we have to go down here, down the coast to where the bow is. I don't know if you can see that white power boat there, and just where the nose of the boat is now, round the peninsula and back up into the harbour. Now this it's quite a big open harbour, but lots of protection from that direction, which is generally north. Tomorrow morning we're going to leave early and get down to the next one. We're approaching the Peloponnese now, and there's not a lot of good anchorages with protection from the prevailing northwesterlies, and at this time of year they do kind of crop up in the late afternoon, early evening, up to 35 knots or so. So you need to be somewhere that's protected, land on the north of you, not on a lee shore, with good holding and plenty of chain out. Again, you might not see it, I'll try and zoom in post-production, and there's fires on the mountains at the back there. It's been 42 to 47 degrees in parts of Greece for about a week now, and it started some forest fires. So That's the gap the chart says is 11 metres. And that's the alternative round the outside of the island. So what would you do? How much do you trust your charts? Guess where we're going? Round the outside of the island. It does say around 11 metres, shallows to 7 metres in places. You just don't know how much of that rock pinnacle there has fallen in, or that one there, or bits off the end. Some of these charts, you know, are 100 years old and taken by men in rowing boats with lead lines and tallow ends. So we're going round the outside. Discretion is the better part of valour. So we've arrived. Talking to the camera, darling. We're in this big, I guess you'd call it a lagoon. The gap that we were looking at going through originally was that one, but when we looked on the chart, there's only half a metre in there, so we weren't going to do that. The other gap was down there, at the end of this peninsula here. Extinct volcano there, another one there, forest fires there.
Beers here.
Oh, beers here, right, oh there we go, beers here. I've had enough for one day, to be honest. We were up at 6:30 this morning, and we've been out in the heat all day long, and there's a cold beer on the table, so it's good night from her and it's good night from him. We're just sitting at anchor. It's sun's gone down about an hour after sunset, and I'll try and get the camera on this. It's going to be really tricky. Stay with us.
Are calling these conditions not only extremely dangerous, but unprecedented. And you know, Dan, everyone we speak to says the same thing. They've just never seen anything like this. We're in the middle of a heat wave that's something they haven't seen in nearly 3 decades. You know, these are conditions, again, that are dangerous, and firefighters can barely keep up.
Oh, come on. Modern media. Never let the facts get in the way of a good story. There have been forest fires for over 2,500 years in Greece. Just half an hour on a computer, do a bit of research. Here's something from the 3rd year of the Peloponnesian War, which is 429 BC. Alkadites reported, I mean, by the hand of man, for this time past, in the mountains when dry branches have been rubbed against each other, a forest has caught fire spontaneously therefrom and produced a great conflagration as a fire. There's absolutely no doubt that these fires are causing hardship and disruption to people, families and their homes. But it's nothing new. Look at the notable fire events in the last 100 years. Bad news and scaremongering make good headlines, but they don't make good facts. Me, when it comes to facts, I do my own research. I don't believe what's on the news. Oh, sunrise over the mountains there. Eternity there, rocks over there, fires in the mountain over there, lots of smoke, castle over there, mountain over there, clouds around it, and the island over there. Yeah, it's morning, we're up bright and early, up at Sparrow's Fart apparently, is what the Aussies say. So we've got a quick dash at 10 miles down to the next safe harbour. The weather has changed. It looks like this bad weather's going to come in a couple of hours early. So we're motoring, we're at 2,000 RPM, doing just under 7 knots. In fact, just over, I think. Yeah, we're doing just over 7 knots. and we are chugging along. Could have done with another couple of hours in bed. Hey ho. Looks like somebody else is making a run for it. They'll be going through the gap there, which would mean they are going north, and the next safe haven is 50 odd miles away, 58 miles, which is the run we did yesterday. And good luck, guys. Can't see any flags on the boats. I don't know if they're locals, don't recognise them, but hey ho. Really is pretty here. I wish we'd got the time to spend, have an explore, get the drone up, but unfortunately we can't do it. So we're in safe and sound. Wind's come up now. It's averaging about 22 knots, gusts 27. We're about 500 metres off of the beach. A lot of other boats here, all hunkered down. Out to sea we can see lots of white horses and some waves breaking over the headland there. There's a big fort over here, castle. Another one there. I think it's all part of the same thing. You see the ramparts at the top. We're not going to go ashore again. We've taken Oscar ashore for about half an hour. We're not going to go ashore until until the wind abates. I don't like leaving the boat. As you can hear in the strong winds, you just don't know. You never know. Another boat coming in. They've got our anchor watch on. We're not moving. We dug in pretty well. Did go and swim the anchor, and then David swam it as well. When we first came in, we anchored over in this empty spot in front of us here. There were big pebbly rocks, and the anchor just dragged across the top of them. So we moved to where we are now. We've got good holding in sand. Right. The sun is just setting over the ramparts of the town wall and castle. Another boat's just laying its anchor. A bit calmer tonight than it was last night. Whoa. At 3 o'clock this morning we eventually managed to get some sleep. I sat up till 1 and made sure that we were holding. We had anchor alarms on. Sorry, two anchor alarms on. But the sun's just setting. I just wanted to try and capture this light here on the hills and out across the bay, because it really is spectacular. It looks like there may be some rain over there. Job to tell. Sun's nearly gone. Yeah, very, very pretty. What do you think, Oscar? What do you think? What are you sniffing?
Like someone's having a barbecue, Ted.
Really?
Yeah, I can smell sausages and cheddar cheese.
Cheese? You can smell cheese?
Yep. I can smell cheese at over 1,000 metres, mate.
Oh, that's interesting. Very sensitive nose.
Well, I'm a dog.
You still smell that cheese?
Yeah, I don't think it's cheddar. It might be red Leicester. See if I can get a better sniff. Yeah, it's definitely red Leicester.
What are you sniffing now? What can you smell?
It's definitely a beef burger. It's definitely a beef burger with red Leicester on top.
Are you sure?
Yeah, and sausages.
You've got a fixation with sausages, haven't you?
Well, I don't get them very often from you.
God. Next time, we get to look at the castle. Well, bits of it. Looks like you got to pay and no pets. And we find a fantastic anchorage where we hang out for a few days, sitting out strong winds. Well, that is, until the winds change direction, as they often do, down in the Peloponnese, in Greece.
Hi, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Big shout out and thank you to all our Patreons.
Yeah.
You know the drill.
Yeah. And the subscribers we've met along the way.
Oh, wow, yeah.
We've met quite a few people, and quite a few of them have commented on the previous videos. If you go back, and you'll see in the descriptions. It has been a blustery week.
We're in the beginning of a Meltemi, and although we're tucked away at the moment, we need to move tomorrow. So the next few days could be rather interesting.
Could be interesting. We're in a very industrial port, aren't we? We managed to get some video footage of the port, and we've managed to get some drone footage as well. I managed to get some drone footage this morning. We won't tell you where it is, because it will ruin the next video. But we're tucked away, it's cheap, there's no electric on hand.
No, and no water.
And no water, but we think we found a source of water. So, from a standpipe, but we'll tell you more about that
Next week.
next week. Until then, folks,
Sail safe.
sail safe.
Bye.
Bye.